Hello and welcome to the lecture on require. Well, require is similar to include. It is also used to embed one PHP file into another. So we'll try to see the difference between include and require, but the function of require and include is exactly the same. So we'll reuse the same example that we have just created for include. We'll try to add one more line here and say submenu. Okay, so we don't have this submenu.php file. We'll see what happens when we try to include a file that is not available. Let's try to execute this file. Okay, so we have our menu, submenu and footer. Let's include this file. You obviously see an error because this file is not available, but the interesting thing is it keep on executing. It doesn't stop executing. Even if it doesn't find the file, it's keep on executing the other part of the program. But in some cases, this file might be required to process the other file that is down below. And if this file is accidentally deleted in somewhere in your server and someone is trying to execute this page, you don't want to continue showing the rest of the page because you know obviously it will be an error. In that case, you should not use include, you should include require. You should say require means if this file is not available, do not execute the rest of the code. The require function will make sure this file is available on the server. If this file is not available, it will not execute the rest of the code. It will just exit out from the program. So if you see, if I refresh the page, this line of code will not be visible. That's the function of the require. The require makes sure that this file is available, and if it's not available, it will just exit from the program. Include will not exit out of the program. It will just continue executing the program, wherein the require typically exit out of the program. Okay, that's the only difference between include and require. And when to use include and require is mostly up to the developer, but it's highly recommend you use require, right? You don't want to include something and make sure it's not available, and you still want to show the rest of the program doesn't look good. Maybe you want to just throw an error and then you want to exit the program just to be on safer side. If you're doing some calculation based on that file that is not available, then obviously it's an error. So it's better you do not show all those junk data to the user, you just exit from the program. Okay, so it's highly recommended you use require compared with include. And if you have an includes which is not really very important one, then you can just go ahead and use the include. Okay, but most of the time if you look at the how programming has been done in real life, they always go with require. Okay, so that's all about require versus include, and I hope you understand the difference between the two. Okay, so that's all on the lecture on require, and I'll see you in the next one.